captain's dropship was from this area. That was over 12 hours ago. When you locate Captain Keyes, radio in, and I'll come pick you up.
So I wanted to have a wee natter about some games that I played that I've noticed I've got wee horror segments, or sometimes massive horror segments, you know, like the rest of the game. Wee twists in the story, things you wouldn't expect, things you just come up upon. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Halo Combat Evolved. Not Halo Infinite, unfortunately. We'll get that next year, I hope. Hi, Halo's a strange one. This was a wee twist in the story that I really wasn't expecting, and you're going to have to, you know, sort of realise that there's spoilers in amongst all this. The whole thing's a spoiler. The whole idea of these episodes are spoilers. So the twist is the discovery of something called the Flood. An organism that is giant spores that take over organic material, mash it down and turn them into like space fungi zombies. Think of The Last of Us, only in space and no quite as grounded in reality, I suppose. And over time these creatures can sort of have a mass into this big massive clump and make a grave mind, and it's totally sentient, but it's a hive mentality, like the Borg or a beehive, anything like that really. And the thing about these creatures is you need to learn what weapons work against them, because the bullet ones are no the best. Like your machine guns, your assault rifles, forget it. What I found that works best, especially in the first Halo, was a plasma rifle from the Covenant or a shotgun with explosions. Those are the best things to take these things out. So if you can get a tank or a ghost, plasma rifle, shotgun, grenades, you're good to go. Anything else, kind of forget about it because it takes too long and you will get swamped. If you don't get swamped with the spores, the bigger guys will just batter fuck at you, and that you'll be you toast. Dead flood bait.
Stay back! Stay back! You're not turning me into one of those things! I'll blow your brains!
And this lovely twist comes in at roughly about halfway, if not a little more than halfway through the game, where Cortana starts freaking out. He's like, oh, they must have seen the signs, the fools! And you're like, what the fuck are you bleating on about? And Captain Keyes is be heading down in this direction, and she's like, you got to catch him before he makes an absolute air's cheek of it. And Chief's like, cool, moan then. So they go flying off towards the whatever, you don't know at this point. You go flying off towards the Marines and the Covenant that have made a complete arse of it. Then you land and there's like, it's got an ominous presence this level, and you're like, what's going on here? And there's crashed UNSC ships and there's crashed Covenant ships, and there seems to be people just running about fucking mental, and mate, it's just carnage, and I like it, and I like the atmosphere. And then you'll eventually get into the building and there's what's going on here, there's hardly anybody about, there's some Covenant guys you'll dispatch, then you'll come across a helmet lying on the floor and you'll retrieve its wee memory chip thing. Chief puts it in his helmet and it's like what the Marines have been doing up to that point, and it's like aliens at this point. It's like totally ripped for aliens, this bit, which I thought was cool. I really liked any references back to aliens is always good by me because it's such a fantastic movie. So after Chief's watched that and he sees the Marines getting attacked with these giant spore-like things, and you're like, what the hell's going on here? And you'll hear things going on in the background, it's like sort of scuttling, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? And then all of a sudden they'll just start bursting through the doors, and it's not like one or two of them, it's like waves, like clouds of these spores will come at you, and then you'll dispatch a few swarms of them, and then you'll go out the door that you came in, and you find that a lot of the bodies that have been lying about have been turned into these into the Flood, into these hulking monstrosities that have got like tentacle arms, and they can use weapons. I don't think they can throw grenades right enough, but they can use the weapons, they can fly the ships, and it's just for there on out, it's a mad dash to escape the ring, and that goes on for several levels. I really wasn't expecting that. I was like, it's just going to be a sci-fi shooter from beginning to end. No, it's no, and it's carnage and it's great, and it's one of the best twists that I've seen in the video game, and this is going back to what, 2006? No, not 2006. 2000. Halo came out, I think, 2000, 2001.
Which is weird, right? I mean, look at it. Something scrambled the insides.
What's that? Plasma scoring?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was an accident, you know, friendly fire or something?
What do we have, Sergeant? Looks like a Covenant patrol. Badass elite units. All KIA.
Real pretty. Friend of yours?
Nah, we just met.
So it's gone back quite a wee while now, but it's still it's still an awesome twist. Unfortunately now, with the game being the age that it is, it just can't really keep it a secret anymore. Which is, it is a bit of a shame. It's like the Star Wars thing when you find out that Darth Vader's Luke's father, and it's like, that's been out the bag for decades. Unfortunately, with any twist, especially an old one, you're going to have a real tough time avoiding it. So this has been the first episode that I want to do of this. I'm going to find more. I can think of at least one more, but there'll be more than that surely. But we'll just see how this goes, right? And I'll speak to you all later. Adios.
Greetings. I am the monitor of Installation 04. I am 343 Guilty Spark. Someone has released the flood. My function is to prevent it from leaving this installation, but I require your assistance. Come, this way.
Chief, I've lost your signal. Where'd you go?